And these are basically so trying to be like the pudgy penguins of base. You know, like a very clean, very cute, very family friendly, you know. And Mochi is a token on base, and it's based on Brian Armstrong, which is the CEO of Coinbase, his cat. So his cat's called Mochi,
Oh,
and now we've got the Mochimon NFTs. So I have a bunch of these. I think these are going to run to like a few ETH personally. Like you can just imagine these as the blue chips, right? These are fucking clean. Same artist as Pudgy Penguins. That's one that I'm looking at.
bro, I need you to put out a Telegram post for these, bro. The best ones, so I can buy them.
The next one's Base Punks. The lead of Base on Farcaster. This is his profile picture. So they're backed. The guy who created them is like very well respected in the kind of base programming space. So that's the reason why when these came out, these ran to like one ETH instantly, just because they were really well respected. So you can see these are like the punks of a base. So we got these ones. I've got a few of these. And then these ones are like a lot smaller, but I've been buying a bunch of these. Jesse Polak, we've been interacting with them on Twitter. And usually what you want to do when you're looking for NFTs is you want to find the guy who is behind it and see who they're followed by, right? You want to
Yeah.
see how well connected are they? Because there's a lot of NFTs where they are not like, say for example, right? I was bullish on these for a while, but then I realized that no one good really follows them, right? You want like cabal people to follow them, right? I mean, it's just like people I know, right? I mean, we've got Jesse Polak following them, but he follows like everyone.
What
Like
is
this
a
one is
for people? Sorry, for people that are new, what is a cabal? Because I know that's a big thing nowadays, right? We know what
yeah.
cabal is, but what would you say is
There's
a cabal? Because normal people don't get it.
many different types of cabals. There's like people just say the cabal, but like there's no such thing as the cabal. You have like ETH cabal, you have Sol cabal, you have KOL cabal, you have like like Twitter KOL, crypto Twitter cabal. You have people who are like involved in the exchange cabal. You have like Chinese cabal, like the ones who made Nero, like the one that ran to like almost a billion. You've got that cabal. I mean, you look at the definition of cabal, and it's basically just a group of people who are a secret, just like a secret group, right? So there's many groups like this, right? There's not just one cabal, right? There's a cabal who runs Nero, there's a cabal who runs Brett, there's a cabal who runs even like the coins that everyone thinks are community, there's a cabal behind them because in every token, you need a central entity to push growth of the token, right? The thing that's wrong with community tokens is if there's no dev, there is no one to like point the direction of the token. Like when it's all just 100 degens, right? Who none of them really like because the only way for a CTO to work is for every single person in that CTO to contribute, to work, to send money for marketing, to make connections, to show the coin, right? Realistically, that doesn't happen, right? People want to buy the coin and then they want the dev to send the coin for them, right? They don't want to work for them. Everyone says like, oh, CTO, CTO, and then the dev will or like the CTO lead will be like, all right, okay, cool. Let's all contribute to a marketing wallet, and only like two people will send money to it, right? So cabals are actually necessary, right? Cabal's not a bad thing. A cabal is just the central entity behind each token, right?
I have a question. What is
Really?
it called? So obviously you have a dictatorship. That's when one
Yeah.
person is just telling everybody what to do. What's the other
Yeah.
one? Chat. Let me know. What
Democracy.
a democracy, right? So let me share my screen. You have everyone's putting their hand in, voting, equal rights. Let's all work together. Then
Yeah.
you have a dictatorship, right? Let's get the job done. Here's what you
Yeah.
gotta do. You gotta do it. If you don't like it, don't like it. Whatever. Now you have good dictators and bad dictators. But I tell you what, either way, in a dictatorship, you get more done than a democracy because
Yeah.
people say things, right? As humans, we just say things. We don't actually have the capability to do them most of the time. So in a democracy, a lot of times somebody's coming in the chat and saying, "Dev, do something. Let's get trending on Deck Screener." Well, if there is no dev to trend on Deck Screener, you have to do it. Likelihood is you don't even know what you're doing, and maybe you can't even afford to pay for Deck Screener ads. Right? That sums up cabal versus a CTO. The best CTOs is when the CTO operates like a cabal. That's
Yeah.
why I like TCAT the most, because TCAT has Ghost. We operate as a full-time business. We have daily calls every single day. We have training sessions with the employees. We've got a team of like 12, 13 people now, and we train them like running a business. I even invested in this book. I always recommend everyone who can like read this book, Millionaire Master Plan. It always comes in handy when you're building a team, because inside of the Millionaire Master Plan, you have this, which is called a lighthouse. So you have ultraviolet down to infrared. An infrared is a victim. You're right at the bottom if you've got this victim mentality of, oh, the world happens to me. A red is a survivor. You work Monday to Friday. You can just about afford to pay rent. After you rent, you've just got about food to live. A worker, you're a high paid worker. You work a 9 to 5. Maybe like you're regional director. You're in the game. A player, right? These are people that are like, a player once, for example. A performer is when you get paid for your skills. So, for example, you could class me right now. I'm performing. This is a performer. They get paid for what they do, right? These can be actors, singers, dancers, these types of people. A conductor is when you can start to conduct other people. So you can start to say, you know what, you do this, you do that, you do this, you do that. These are some of the biggest CEOs in the game. They live at the highest upper echelon of frequency. They're like, right, you do that. Right, Elon Musk, for example, he gets an idea, let's build a rocket. The rocket gets built. Do you get what I'm saying? And any level higher is when you're just operating from pure manifestations. You take something from a drawing, right, and you can go and get that done. And the key thing is anything above a green is when you don't have to touch it. You're an investor in your own idea, right? And Millionaire Master Plan gives you the steps to get above. The Tonkat team operate from the Millionaire Master Plan. Every single person has the book. Everyone has to work and move their way up the lighthouse. And inside of the lighthouse, there's different types of energies and skills which you might have. You might be a people person, like Crypto Pabi. He goes to all the conferences, handles all the meetings. Nobody contacts me for partnerships. They contact Crypto Pabi. You might be somebody who is an operator and a conductor. So you have Ryan, who will manage all the businesses, make sure there's systems and processes are coming online for the bot and stuff like that. You have performer right here, right? So for your CTO to work, you have to operate it like this. If you think that the Nero team, the Nero CTO, isn't operating like a cabal, you're wrong. If you think that the SPX team isn't operating like a cabal, you're wrong. All of these people operate like an organization. So remove the word secret organization and just replace it with organization, because that's what a meme coin is. A meme coin is a business.
Yeah, 100%, bro. Just quickly, by the way, Curtis is at 28 million.
No way. Let me share I'll show you the screen.
It got that breakout. Look, we literally said right here it was gonna. We identified the breakout because we know what a breakout looks like, because we've experienced many breakouts, right? It's not just drawing lines, it's taking what you have experienced in the past with price action and comparing it to what's happening right now. And then obviously, a lot of like fundamental things come into play as well.
Oh, have you seen the liquidity on it as well? Oh!
The volume on that's really nice.
Hey, let me share my screen so I can get the shorts. I'm going to paste my wallet in because this is going to look lit. This is going to look fucking lit. Put a bit of music on. This was Curtis. This is the biggest coin on thingy. AI coin got rugged, bro. It was a rug. We need to buy the ones off Gaspump. Off the pump fund looking one.
The ape is back to 3.7 million. The ape is climbing back. Very nice. TIF is at 7.6. Wait, that's like a 2x from when I...
Let's fucking go.
Wait.
I can see it.
Yeah, remember, bro, I literally said, right, we were around like here. I literally said, we'll come here and then we'll drop a bit and then we'll finally go for a breakout. Look, it literally happened. So you cannot discredit TA on meme coins.
It's true. It's true. Because you know what it is? It actually is psychological levels. And it becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy when everybody's looking for that entry.
Like, say for example, right, there's a nice setup and there's 25 people who are doing TA as well, and they do the exact same setup. So there becomes a obvious place for a nice entry based on the TA. There's 25 people looking at that exact same entry, so they get that entry. And then because 25 people ape that entry, that becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. Let's say, for example, I've drew this line before, and let's say we are here. So let's say none of this has happened. Let's say we're here. And I'm like, all right, okay, so when it gets to here, this zone that I've already marked out, I'm going to buy more. So it gets there, and because me and 25 other people are looking at the same thing, we all buy at the same time. And it actually becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. We create this, we make this key support line because we're all looking at it and we're all trading based off it. So
That's actually also what volume is as well. So like when you see, like, for example, with ape, and I mentioned the high volume, that's the reason why that is there, is because that is the point where everybody's looking to buy or everybody's looking to sell. So it's a high volume point. It's